can, whenever you're ready, say anything you want to about your art.
Uh-huh. So my grandma, yeah, she draws a lot, painted a lot, and one of the things she did was sculpting. So from time to time we switched it up from drawing, painting, or sculpting. And although I really like drawing, I got more feeling for sculpting, and I had a school where I could do this sort of stuff. And then from school I took it home and then did it. Worked in the garden of my mom, and then just basically never stopped. So every time I start a new artwork, I just look at the differences within, in height, and these differences in height to me form lines, and I want to connect the lines. I keep doing that until there are so many lines. Yeah, it becomes an abstract, artwork.
You use different types of stone for the pieces of art you do. Tell me a bit about the different types of stone you use.
Yeah, so it's I use a lot of softer stones. First of all, they're nature stones. I'm not sure if you call it if it's in English nature stone, but in Dutch it is. And the stones I use are these nature stones. They come in all kinds of different varieties of hardness, and the ones I use are a little on the softer side, but not too soft, because the lines you create, if the stone is too hard, it's really difficult to create so many lines. But if the stone is too soft, these shapes will break off. The last one I did was serpentine. That's the exact hardness I prefer, as in it's pretty, like, some parts are pretty hard, but the problem with serpentine is some parts of the stone are softer than the other, but the harder parts are like pretty stiff. But for example, the next one I'm working on is marble, and that's a bit on the harder side, but it's also for me a way to test it out. But marble is still one of a softer of the nature stones. I think it's right in there in the middle.
Okay, let's talk about sanding. So how many hours of sanding would it take for, let's say, the last piece that you are working on, the one made of serpentine?
Yeah, I think with the problem with sanding is you can go on forever. So you can make it as polished as you want, but because there are so many differences in height and some parts are so difficult to get by with your hands, it's just it's a very, very tedious process, but nonetheless it's one of the more important parts of actually finishing the work, because the more hours you put in sanding, the better the end result, in a way. So this is the latest sculpture I've created. So I like to make shapes that look like they're from nature, but the forms never represent anything, so it's always abstract. The better you sand it, the more beautiful the lines come out, and eventually the colors of the stone itself become more vibrant, the cleaner the surface is.
Do you think, for you, a lot of it is about the process or more about the final product?
No, it's always about the final product. Yeah. So to me, I really like the process of making, but it has to be finished. It needs to be a product. So I can move on to the next one. So the end result is, to me, the most divine part of the process. Yeah. And, I put a wax over it so the colors become more intense, and I'll create a pedestal. Yeah, we'll find a nice place for it so it can be shown to the world. Or my mom, because that's where most of my pieces go. In a way, I just like to create. My art never has meaning to a point that I wanna show the world I don't wanna make a statement with it. I just wanna create something that's elegant and nice. So you want me to tell this story again, or the way the branches of trees are formed, or the I want to say carrots, because in Dutch it's carrot. The wortel, the roots. Yeah, the carrots of the tree, you know.
Tree carrot.
The tree carrots. No, okay. Yeah. I try to make less lines, but they just, never stops. Making lines. So, this is serpentine. It's a rock. I like the rock. It's green, it also has a little orange in there. Doesn't live or anything. Yeah. Ta-da! That's what I do. Making art. Granite or granite, for example. One of the hardest.
Okay, unless you think of anything else, so
No, I think
that's a wrap.
Yeah, right? Okay, cool, nice. I hope you can do something with that. Hope I make sense.